The following segment is sponsored by Oakview Medical Associates.
We've seen the uptick in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations along with the spread of the Delta variant, and it's all happening early in this new school year. So what do parents need to do to keep their kids healthy? What do they need to know? Dr. NITA BIJOOR is here from Oakview Medical Associates along with Bonnie Papajohn, a health coach there. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
First, Dr. NITA, what do families need to keep in mind when it comes to keeping kids safe who are returning to in-person learning? They're in the middle of that now.
Yeah, great question. Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, almost 2 years into it, and we've got to do everything we can to keep ourselves and our families healthy. So number one would be, if you are eligible for vaccination, please go get that. It is life-saving. I can't tell you how many people, I have couples where one got vaccinated and it's the difference between life and death, and the other one didn't and unfortunately passed away. So these are crucial times and very important to not just think about our own selves, but to have a good sense of civic responsibility and do what's right, wearing the mask, trying to stay away from anyone that's coughing or sneezing, or if your child, is sick or any respiratory symptoms, make sure you don't send them to school. It's better to err on the side of caution during these times and make sure we're all safe.
Right.
I think also planning on their nutrition and making sure they get a well-balanced diet in their lunchbox. That's another one we can think about.
Yeah, a lot of areas to look out for, Dr. NITA, and a lot of families might end up in a situation where their child could have been exposed to COVID. They have to quarantine. How do we manage a quarantine situation inside a busy household? What's your advice there?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Prevention is much better than cure. And so firstly, trying your best not to get into that situation. If it does happen, sometimes it's unfortunate, but it turns your whole life upside down. Parents can't go to work, their schedules get disrupted. You have to make sure your child stays well. There's communication between the physician, pediatrician, making sure that you really are not alone in this. Turn to your doctors, turn to the physicians that are trained in taking care. We do telehealth visits, and just making sure you keep your immunity good, keeping the children comfortable at home. And if you see any red alerts, any alarming symptoms, do reach out, talk to the pediatricians and family physicians. We are here to help.
Wonderful. And now Bonnie, let's talk about some immune boosting tips. What are some tips to keep in mind that keep us healthy?
There's quite a few actually that are not very difficult to do. One is get some exercise. Just simply moving 5 days a week. As humans, we were born to move. We weren't born to be lazy, so to speak. So as we move, that helps boost the immunity system. Eating a proper diet, eating whole foods, getting really good sleep is another very important one for immunity. And also just having less stress in your life, learning how to just kind of take a deep breath and de-stress a little bit. Stress definitely wreaks havoc on the immune system. So those are some really good tips.
Yeah, great. And Dr. NITA, I know it is easy to get down in these situations, or especially if there's an isolation quarantine the family has to go through. How important is a positive attitude, and how can we remember to look on the bright side? You're always good at reminding us that.
Yeah, and I've done at least 5 or 6 phone calls and telehealth visits exactly pertaining to this in the last week or so. It is really important to remember that your mind really is what controls your physical body. So making sure you keep your mind calm, and that's difficult sometimes, but one way you can do that is by just listening to your breath, slowing down for a few minutes and just observing the breath of airflow going in and out. That slows things down for you. And then you realize, what? Time is always moving on. It's a constant change. And what you can do is how you address your stressors is more important than what's happening to you. So don't look at it like, all these external factors are happening to me. Instead of being reactive, be more proactive about it. And it's all about the mindset. I think that is so important. And knowing that we'll get through this together, having positive thinking, having the faith, and just knowing that these are tough times, but, it's basically an experience or a time for us to learn from this. That's how I look at things.
Absolutely. Well, I love the way you look at things and your positive attitude and the way you take care of us all. And Oakview Medical Associates, you do it with an emphasis in lifestyle medicine. You're located 115 Forks Plaza Court in Simpsonville, the number 627-0444. Dr. NITA, Bonnie, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.